Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Mountain Bike Q&A. I'm your host, Johnny Yu. I want to thank you all for hopping on here tonight or whenever you watch this. I thank you guys so much. And I say this every time, but I feel like I do because you guys, the people that I have on and the people that are watching are what keeps me doing this. And I know I'm not the biggest podcaster on the planet, but gosh darn it, I'm the happiest. I think I'm the happiest. Anywho, remember, I'm on the Spotify as well, the iTunes, Spotify. If you're listening, if you have a long drive, my wife just turned the TV on downstairs and I can hear myself. Thank you, honey, for turning it down. Again, if you've got a long commute, you got nothing else to do, put on one of these podcasts, listen to it. It would be great for me to look over and go, oh, somebody listened to something that I did. And I appreciate that. But I'm not going to do a lot of this right now. I'm going to cut right to it. You guys, I'm fans of all yours over here in the comment section, and I'm a fan of this guy, and I'm a fan of what he is doing for the mountain bike community. And I just told him this. He's probably one of the hardest working men in mountain biking. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for AA Ron. Aaron, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going? Great to see you.
Great seeing you again. We always do this chat ahead of time, and then when you pop on, it's like, oh, he's new to me.
The pre-chat.
The pre-chat. Let's go into the comments section real quick. Trail Pimp says he likes this guy. Roman looks like a chill dude. Are you? Are you chill?
I try to stay chill. I have my moments of stress, but
he's even keeled, folks. Trail Monster out on a ride, but he will tune in soon. Thank you, sir. Wife is saying hello. Trail Pimp. Aaron, what's up, my man? Do you know Medi?
Trail Pimp. Gosh, the name looks very familiar. I've seen him on live streams and stuff.
Joshua Chicken Sendies is in here. What's up, guys? How you doing? Thanks for joining us, man. Jarno, Fractured Rider. I'm still probably hacking his name up. He's in Finland. You got to get Finland over there to Everstoke.
Yeah, I want to get everyone.
He's watching in Finland. Jeff Jackson, MTB, what's going on? Thanks for. There you go. I think Jarno's at Finland. He's also a trail builder, so this is going to be interesting.
Oh, good. We need more trail builders. A lot more.
This podcast is better than crack. Maddie, put the pipe down. East Bay Rich, the trail boss. That's a buddy.
Yeah, East Bay Rich he's been a guest at Everstoke a few times.
Senderoni, what's up, man? Hey, how's it going? He was on my last one. This is actually my 61st podcast. I can't believe this. I was supposed to say that earlier.
Wow, are you having these every week then? Now?
Every other week, but I couldn't believe that I could get one person on. And now I've got Mountain Biking Adventures.
Well, I think the first one I watched was with Robert, who has he's the X
Beyond X.
What is it? Beyond X, yes. Both Brian and I rode with him. He was our guide in Colorado there. We did a lot of great trails and real fun guy. Real good rider too. Real cool.
Yeah, he's got lungs. He's like a machine.
It's that living in that high altitude and always riding all the time.
Yeah, I'm here in Miami. I have no lungs.
Yeah, he brought the pain. I think the first ride we did was hit 12,000 feet of elevation, and it was a big ride. So,
good Lord.
Well, I mean, we didn't do 12,000 feet of climbing.
Yeah.
It hit actual 12,000 feet. Yeah. Yeah, your head starts getting kind of dizzy up there when you do a little punchy climb, and you're just like, oh boy.
Do you like that high elevation?
Everstoke's only 4,300 feet, so we're actually well below like the long lasting snow periods. I've been building and riding out there for a couple of weeks now, a month, or actually almost all year. We haven't had much snow. We've had a couple spells of decent amount of snow. I think early March we had a couple feet. Then that melted off pretty fast, and I was trying to build, rain, snow, giant, or whatever. It doesn't matter. You name it. I was trying to build through it. Spokesman MTB's on here.
Spokesman Steve, my man.
He's been a guest at Everstoke.
Oh, yeah. He said something earlier today to me about like how you guys are. This is going to be it. This may be a mecca that you're building right now.
I hope so. I got about 6 miles of almost all hand-built trails. There's some sections. Huh?
How many miles?
About 6 miles now.
Wow.
Almost all hand-built, and there's a section of jumps that I did with the tractor, and they still got to be, touched up. But yeah.
Steve says helping out at Everstoke was one of the most rewarding trail building experiences I've ever undertaken. I encourage all. Before we get to all the Everstoke, are you a California kid?
Yeah. Born just south of Sacramento, town Lodi, and grew up in Galt, center of the universe. It's a small town, but it's grown quite a bit. It's about 26,000 people. It was about 2,000 when I was growing up.
Wow.
And out of high school, joined the military 4 years, came back, and been in South Sacramento pretty much ever since, just doing odd and end jobs.
Now, did the riding come before the military or did it go after the military?
I started really late.
Okay.
I was 30. I'm 50 now, and
good man.
I started when I was about 34, and out of the Marines, I got into just doing some small like 5K runs, 10K runs, and I started developing up into a marathon, and that led into triathlons, which you got some biking and stuff. And one of my buddies said, "We want to do a little cross training, doing some mountain biking." And at first, I was like, "Well, I don't know. I got a lot on my plate, And once I got on the mountain bike, and I was over here at Folsom Lake, pretty Salmon Falls, Darrington Trail, real popular trail in our area. I was hooked. I mean, I had a Walmart bike. It was falling to pieces on the trail. I had a blast, and then I just everything else just faded away, and I just got more and more addicted to it. And then my buddy's like, "Hey, let's go out to Moab," and I was terrified of Moab at the time.
Really? I remember back in the day when I first started. I was like 27 when I started riding, and there was this magazine called Bike.
Yeah,
just Bike. It was all about mountain biking and stuff, and you could read the stories about people's epic rides. But Moab was like the mecca then.
Yeah, it was the rush I got. I mean, like we did Slick Rock. And what else did we do? I think that was the first time I did Porcupine Rim. And then we went over to Fruta as well. And we did, Castle Run and several little trails out there. I can't remember I think they had Chutes and Ladders at the time. Mm-hmm. And anyway, we did those. And I gotten a jogger highs before, but that didn't hold a candle up to the rush I was getting just from the exhilaration of going, like Slick Rock was just amazing to me when I first did it. And now it's still a fun trail. I really love it, but oh man, there's so much more great stuff out there. And it's just like always on the hunt for that perfect rush. It's like, I'm not too much of an adrenaline junkie. So just good tech, a little bit of speed. That's all I need. I don't need to be doing, giant 20-foot gaps or nothing crazy, Red Bull Rampage stuff. I just like to go out, and I honestly getting into trail building has almost got that same excitement factor for me as well, because it's just being able to put my creativity, hiking out the whole mountain, looking for any rock I could like, oh, that's got to be a feature, that creek bed, whatever it is. oh, this could be a skinny. Let's make that into something. And it's awesome. So I get very addicted into trail building.
I like how you talk about like not doing the 20-foot gaps or anything like that. And I was just thinking about this the other day because I'm a decent mountain biker in my realm and what I can do. I'm
Yeah.
tech, pretty good at tech, wooden features, yada yada yada. But once you start going downhill with me, because I'm from Miami, it throws me off a little bit. I'm like not used to the speed. It takes me a little bit used to getting to the speed, but you don't have to be great at something in order to love it or to get the rush from it. And I
Yeah.
was thinking of that saying. I'm like, I still do it, and I'm not awesome, but I just love doing it.
Well, and that's, I think, the other great thing about the sport is like, as I played, basketball and some, other sports, team more, and it gets really competitive against some of the sports get so competitive, it takes the fun out of it. I just like to go out there. Like when I played basketball, I like to goof around. And everybody, I'd go do a pickup game at the gym, and it's just like everybody's so serious and they want to get in fights and all this stuff. And I'm like, geez, man, we're not going to the NBA, fellas. Let's just have some fun.
We're playing basketball. Let's just have fun here, folks.
I never get that with mountain biking. If someone's incredibly talented and they're flying down the trail faster than I am, I'm more just having fun with the trail itself. And typically, even though you're way behind them, it's a minute or two tops. Yeah. And they don't. And almost every mountain biker I've ever been with, they don't have, they don't have any trouble waiting for you for a minute or two, and everybody just having a blast and going having a beer afterwards, and a burrito or a burger or whatever.
That's what I love about this sport, though. Is really it's not about competing with anybody.
Yeah,
I didn't play team sports as a kid. My dad was a nerd, so I never got into sports because my dad wouldn't take me to practice.
I just never really liked the team sports too much. I was gay at him. I just didn't like that. There's some things I'm competitive at, but when it just gets ridiculous, like where they just want to fight and argue about it, come
on, play a game. That's what I love about mountain biking. So you got bit mountain biking. You're like, this is it for me. I love this. How did, and I want to get to this. How did you and Brian meet? How did this come together before Everstoke? Were you friends for a while?
I give Robert credit from biker. He's kind of organized. He organized, not kind of. He organized what's called the biker camp at Downeyville, and he was able to get Brian to go out there. Brian was talking about doing a trail called Grouse Ridge, and just happened to be one of the trails that I knew very well because of a local friend here, Jeff, that actually helps me at Everstoke. Anyway, and Brian was trying to reach out to Jeff, and I was hearing Brian talk about that whole I want to do Grouse Ridge, and I said, hey, if you can't, connect with Jeff, I could show you around. Yeah. So anyway, as time went by, he's like, yeah, let's go out there, and I was like, great. So I picked him up. We carpooled, and that's kind of where the birth of Everstoke was starting, really. We just started fantasizing about, it'd be kind of cool, just talk. It was just talk at the time. It would be kind of cool to buy a little bit of land, maybe build a pump track, little mini jump line, just a little tiny trail system, something to kind of have fun with. And anyway, we hit it off really good at the Grouse Ridge. And he's got a video of it, both of us, and it's ended up being a 2-part video. I mean, I blew out I dinged my rim where the wheel went, lost all my stands and went steel. And he had that Tubulito as like an orange tube. Yeah. We put it in the bike, and that was supposed to be like a puncture resistant tube. Well, and it was like a 10-hour ride of just like suffer fest. But it was such fun, amazing ride. So Brian and I, we did it a couple other times, like Fisk Peak Loop. We're trying to bring this trail system back to life. And, it just, we kept talking about, oh, it'd be kind of cool to buy a little bit of land. So kind of just out of coincidence, when I sold my half the HVAC company, the heating air company, then I was like, well, what am I going to do? And Brian sends me a text. Hey, dude, are you still interested in buying some land? And I was like, yeah, why not? So I opened up the link, and of course my eyes are boing, because I'm like, 91 acres, dude. Or like, you sure you got the right link? Because this is insane. I mean, I don't know if I could swing 91 acres. But I was like, hey, screw it. I'm going to go up there and check it out. By the way, how'd you know I sold my half the business? And he's like, I didn't know you sold your half the business. It all fell into place, like almost like like everything happens for a reason. And so I just jammed up there and I started checking it out. And I did a little bit of due diligence and checked out some other land up there while I was at it, because there was another place that had 230 acres. And on paper, I was like, this looks more compelling than what Brian shared, because it was even cheaper. But when I went out there, I was like, you have to drive by all this farmland, and it's like there's no cell coverage. It was way away from everything. There was a cool mountain on it, and I kind of like had a vision what I could do with it, but it just didn't have everything. Then I went and checked out Everstoke, and I noticed cell coverage, brewing layer, all the east side, national forest.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like, wow, this could be a trail. Oh, this could be a line. This could be a line. This just gears are going. My
Wow.
brain. And I said, are you sure you want to do this? And he said, yeah. I said, I'm putting an offer in on it right now. I found a realtor, and she knew how to kind of move. And it's tough to buy land without structure on it, right? Because you don't have like banks aren't willing to take, do a loan, but the realtor is like, it's you probably take a little bit more of a hit doing it this route, but we could do it owner financing, and we negotiated back and forth a little bit. And anyway, they went for it, and that just then I was like, what did we just do? I can't believe it. So
it's kismet. Like, you just sold your company and then you get a text.
Yeah, it was, I mean, literally within like 2 days of like my last day with my last business partner was 2 days, I think. I don't know. I don't even remember. If it was even 2 days, it was like almost like, like, were you like listening to this? But Brian did know I was doing a lot of maintenance and trail building and building jumps and stuff at the local bike park here in Elk Grove. I got videos of messing around out there, and I just think he knew my work ethic and my dream, and we hit it off, both in California, and it just worked. And
now, how long did you know Brian until he brought you in? Because you got to know each other for a minute before you start doing business together.
Yeah, about 5 years. Well, both Brian and I are risk takers. Like, jump in, figure it out later. A lot of people will do the research, tons of research ahead of time, then jump in. But I got that fear of missing out on an opportunity. And I felt like if we didn't get the land, someone else would have snatched it up, and that would have been a lost opportunity. Probably wouldn't to happen that way, but
So when you sell your company and then you come to your wife and say, we're going to buy land, I'm going to make trails.
She almost went back to Japan. Yeah, that was so my wife is from Japan, and but I met her when I was in the Marines, and we've been married 25 years. yeah, it kind of went, the question was kind of in that ballpark of, okay, so you got yourself set up, took you a long time to get that company going. You have full medical, full dental, business car, making good money. You're selling that to buy land to dig in the dirt and ride bikes. And I was like, yes,
Yes. What
exactly.
don't you understand?
And she's like, I might go back to Japan for a year until you get this figured out. But no, but then it just like, I kind of explained to her, it's like, well, this is an investment potential, who knows if it will succeed. We don't know, it just, you never know. But anyway, she started kind of getting on board once she saw it, started seeing the vision. And fortunately for me, she watches a lot of TV Japan here at her house. And one of the shows that was kind of a hit right at the time was this guy bought a mountain in Japan and he's doing all this farming and stuff like that. And she got kind of more excited about it. So that was kind of a blessing in disguise there that so this is kind of escalating into more stuff now. Of course, we've always had ideas of like doing merch, and so my wife and I actually started making the shirts. So we're going to be making the shirts and selling them. For starters, we're going to sell them at the property, and eventually that will turn into I could ship them out. But if anyone really wants to get one now, they could email me. I'll make it happen.
Okay, so hit them up on Insta. Hit them up on the Instagram.
Instagram and
this is fun. This is, and I'm loving this. And I knew this was going to be fun because now your wife's sitting back and she's like, I'm part owner of 91 acres of land. That's kind of cool.
It's really awesome. I mean, the views, we have natural springs out there. It's insane, I thought, well,
family go camping. Your kids, you said you have family.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy the things that are happening out there. We didn't even know we had a well on the property.
Yeah, I remember seeing that video.
Brian, the well house that he built, it just that wasn't. There was, I don't even think the previous landowners knew it. I was just building trails all day, and it was scorching hot. It was like a 99-degree day. Yeah, up there in the mountains. Oh. So Sacramento must have been just melting. So I'm like practically in my underwear, having a beer in my flip-flops, and I'm still terrified of like the mountain lions and the bears because I'm out there by myself, and I'm just trying to cool off. And I was like, you know what? It's still light. I'm going to hike around a little bit, just explore some of these little like annual creek, like dry creek beds that we got. And keep in mind, I think this was, we closed the deal like at the end of May of 2021. Mm-hmm. And I started hiking around and it's bone dry. I mean, that was kind of a drought year. And, I was afraid to like even start a propane stove because of the potential risk of fire out there.
Burn it all up.
Yeah. And I was hiking around. All of a sudden I found this water on the ground. And I'm like, where's that coming from? So I'm tracing it up. There's brush everywhere at this point. And I find this like 6-inch pipe sticking out of the ground, and it's got like a little bleed port, and it's an artesian well that's just trickling water out constantly. And I didn't know squat about wells at the time.
Yeah.
So we had a well guy come out, and he's like, yeah, that's grandfathered into your property. All you got to do is run a pump and all that. So Brian just went crazy. It had a little cap. So we cut the cap off. Brian, we fished took a tape measure, one of those big long spools.
Yeah.
Put a rock on there and started dropping it down there. It's just going. I'm thinking it's going to be like 10, 20 feet deep or something. This thing was 213 feet.
What?
Yeah.
I remember watching the video, you guys finally getting water out there, like getting it pumped out. It's amazing.
Brian's been amazing because doing HVAC for as long as I did, I didn't want to get hands on to like doing plumbing because I dabbled with some plumbing, I dabbled with electrical, and I just didn't want anything to do with it. I just wanted brain dead build trails, move dirt. I can't mess up dirt. There's no diagnostic system. And Brian's all about just like into the tech stuff and running plumbing. He's all excited about it. And I'm just thinking, wow, thank God. And he's been doing fantastic at it. So like, he ran the pump down there, all the electrical and all that stuff. And it works so good. It's like some of the best
to be able to watch the progress of all his videos of doing all that and watching your videos of you doing what you're doing, moving dirt. But my wife asked a good question because I got city water. What is an artesian well? What is that actually? I'm a big dumb animal here.
So I'm not the sharpest rock either, so don't hurt the sharpest tool in the shed, whatever they said. See, I can mess those up.
The sharpest star in the sky.
But from what I understand, it's more of a like water trapped in there, like volcanic layers, and so it's like a well, and that just keeps. So it's continuous water seeping into it, and it's pushing
natural. You can just the fresh springs, or do you got to filter it?
And you can drink it. It just, I think the only thing it was kind of like out of balance was manganese. It had a high manganese content.
Oh, that's good for you. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. I think I don't think it really actually hurts people. I'm not too sure, but the biggest concern with its level of manganese was it could stain your toilets and your sinks and things like that. So it just leaves it leaves a ring. Yeah, and it's like a really hard stain.
Oh, there you go.
Filter that right out. But
anyway, it's a natural spring. So take me back. Okay, you sell your company, and you fork out money for 91 acres. When you first go out there, when you bought it, when papers are signed, everything, you go out there. What goes on in your head? When you first step on that land, when you go, it's mine.
About 100 million things are going through my head at the time. Like I'm just looking at everything. Okay, there was a road someone on there pushed in by some dozers back in the day, and the land was logged a long time ago. I'm thinking 40 years ago. Wow. But the dozers just kind of like pushed in dirt or, to access the power lines. And so I'm looking at this road and I'm like, man, we're going to have to grade it. We're going to have to make drainage. We got to put, road base. We need to move all the pile of, it's not garbage, but it's the, all the brush and the debris and everything they pushed into piles all over the place. In fact, Steve from Spokesman MTB, he spent like hours just making burn piles of just so we could burn a lot of that trash. Wow. And and it was just a massive undertaking. And it just seemed like we rented a backhoe for a couple of months, and I graded the road, dug in some culvert pipes, started digging the septic tank in, got the inspection done for the septic. Well, the septic didn't go very smooth. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, that we got it passed. I had the dang septic tank set in a hole, and I started filling it up with water, but I didn't fill it up all the way. And then of course I leave the property, 15 inches of rain in like 2 days up there, filled up the hole. The septic tank was floating around. Oh. So I had to pump all the water out of the septic, out of the hole, pull the septic out with the tractor, re-level it, set it back in there. It's like doing a job twice is like the best. But it was just like everything was a challenge. But that was kind of the thing, like, well, let's make videos about, all this stuff that's happening. And I wish I was a little bit better at capturing some of these a little bit more back end of stories and kind of getting out there. I'm getting a little bit better at it, but I should have got like that whole septic tank more on video. And that's a pretty good story.
I love it. You buy land and all of a sudden you dive in.
Yeah.
Because this is it. This is it. I just sold my company. I gave a lot of money to buy 91. I don't even know. That's your business, but I'm sure it's a pretty penny in California to buy that kind of land. And so and then you walk out. Did you bring your wife the first time you went out there to go, look what we have?
No.
You're like, no, that was me.
She came shortly after to check it out. First step was to get like a little living quarters up there. And fortunately, my parents had an old camper. It was leaking water and all this stuff. My mom was about to toss it. And so that was something else that just kind of fell right into my lap. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Now I could, if you're just getting rid of it, I could take it up there. So I brought my dad's truck, pulled the not tiny home, the camper up there. So that's another thing I should have captured. I was actually a little embarrassed. Is I have a Tesla now, but I used to have a lifted truck, and I've been a truck guy for a long time.
Yeah.
And my Dodge was an 06. So when you set the dial to 4-wheel drive, it just automatically goes to 4-wheel drive. But I had sold that truck, and I used my dad's truck. Well, his is a 1993. It has the dial inside the cab. And I'm trying to pull the trailer up the first steep grade, and I'm not getting the traction. And I'm losing this trailer back like into the creek bed.
Oh my God.
And I'm just going, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I'm going to have someone come rescue me or figure out what, but I'm sitting there going, this is like a Dodge Ram 250 Cummins diesel. This thing's meant to pull like an insane amount of weight up a hill like that. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I just can't drive it. And I finally get out of the truck, and I'm walking around, and I'm looking at the trailer going, what the flip am I going to do? And then I look down at the wheels, and I was just, you moron. It's got locking hubs.
You got to lock the hub.
Yeah. And it's just like I knew all about locking hubs, but it's just been like 35 years since I've even thought about locking hubs or,
Yeah, who's locking hubs nowadays?
And so I just get back in the truck, and it's right over. And I was like, oh, thank God. I mean, it was bad. It was like the trailers. I literally thought I was going to have to get like an excavator in there or something to get it out. The truck just pulled it right out.
That's the funny thing. You keep talking about like, oh, I wish I had captured this. I wish like when you're living it, you're living it. You're not thinking, oh, I got to get my camera.
Yeah.
Put this up on a tripod and show the trials and tribulations of buying 90 plus acres of land and the struggles we had in the beginning. I mean, because I've watched it. It's funny. When you first got there, did you have the camper there the first time you stayed, or were you camping?
That was pretty much the first thing I did, was get the camper there. And then once I got it set in place, I started doing trail building. And then shortly after is when I rented the backhoe, and then started just taking care of the roads. And I made a fire road all the way from not quite where we're at, where my camper sits. There's like another plateau kind of around a bend, and it goes up to the power lines. From that point all the way to the highest point of the property, I made a fire road and kind of an access road. And that's where like most of your main trails like Killzone and Everflow and all that starts. And Steve knows, he's been there.
Steve, he said ask about the couch. What's wrong with the couch? Steve wants to know about.
Oh yes, the couch. The couch is doing fantastic. It's in the tiny home. Yeah, and also the wine racks are my mom loves the wine racks. So my father passed away a little over a year ago.
Sorry.
So yeah, thanks. He's 86. Great life. So
still,
it was sad. But thanks. Yeah, you're never ready for it. But anyway, I was spending a lot of time with my mom, and we're preparing for my dad because he had Alzheimer's, and we knew it was getting close. Anyway, I was out there a lot, kind of helping my mom. And in the meantime, I was doing some just some hobbies around the house, trying to fix up the house, do some things. and they had this old storeroom, and I was like, Mom, let's just turn this into like a little wine room. And I posted that on Instagram. Steve reached out to me, said, hey, I got some wine racks. It's like, sweet, that will work perfect. So I ran down to his house. He was moving to Durango.
Yeah.
And he was getting rid of a bunch of stuff. So I purchased some wine racks off of him, and he threw in a couch. And the couch is in the tiny home.
Okay.
It's beautiful. It's comfy.
Here's the story. You want to know about the couch. Now we know it's a couch that Steve has probably crashed on many times.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he slept on it. He said it was a pretty new couch, and it looks really nice. I had to slightly modify the back of it because inside the tiny home, there's like a wheel well. So I had to like cut away part of the back of the couch so it'd sit on the wheel well. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to mess up this couch. It was like a brand new couch.
You had to fix it.
Yeah, I was like, I hauled it all the way out there, got it inside the tiny home, and then that's when I kind of realized, like, oh crap, what am I going to do with that little wheel well thing down there? So I figured it out.
If couches could talk, I don't want to hear what it has to say.
Let's not scare away any guests from the tiny home.
So I love this. You bought land with a guy you've known for probably about 5 years.
Yeah.
When you bought the land, was there did you guys go out and get burritos and beers and sketch out what maybe you wanted to do with the property, where you wanted stuff to go? Or was it like a stand and just look and feel it?
You know, we kind of were trying to come up with some plans, and we even made a board of tasks with those sticky notes. That kind of faded out quickly. I'm just more like, let's immerse ourselves into the property, just kind of figure out, I kind of watched anybody that came out and they started migrating to this one area and setting up chairs. And I was like, okay, that's going to be kind of the main hangout, because it seems like everybody gravitates towards that area. And so that's where we started having the campsite, or I'm sorry, the campfires. And then so I added some more surface area for it. So we had a place to put tables. Then that's where this Dan, he's been in a lot of videos, and he's instrumental to helping me build trails. He's an arborist. He gets logs. He's just, he's an amazing person, fun guy to hang out with. But, he comes across some items, and he brought out like a picnic table, and it just kind of started evolving. And it's like, okay, this is a great area for everyone to hang out. So it's like where all the mountain bikers could get together, have some beer, have a campfire. And below, I started making some trails, and I was like, this is going to be a great area for the confidence course. Basically, that's going to be bombarded with skinnies, pump track, the drop zones right there. Yeah. So, people could heckle their friends, whatever. We got the throwing knives right there, where we could do the throwing knives.
What? You got throwing knives there too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got them. This place it's just like so perfect for this. The brewing lair, it's all outdoor. I don't know if you know much about our neighbor, the brewing lair. Mm-hmm. It's an outdoor hangout environment. They'll have live bands. They have this golf course there, outdoor ping pong. Just really beautiful picnic kind of hangout area. You get some good beer. The owners are great people, and you just sit out there hanging out, socializing, having a beer, go play frisbee golf, watch a live band, whatever. You could literally ride your bike. I actually hate that word literally, but I always use it. You could ride your bike from Everstoke on a trail called Beer Run to their overflow parking lot. And then from there, they have some single track that will take you to the main hangout area. And so if you get hammered, you could ride your bike back, just sign the waiver.
Sign your waiver. This is so this brings us back to doing the whole 91 acres, bought it, blah, blah, blah. You were like, I want to create something, that's going to be epic for mountain bikers.
Yes.
That was your business plan.
Yeah.
It wasn't just for you to have fun doing your own trails.
No, it was all about from day one, always getting people out there to ride and just I want it to be better than Disneyland is for kids. How Disneyland is for kids. I want this place to be for adults that are into mountain biking. Someone asked a question in here. Have you guys had Brian Gong out? That's the Degonger, I believe.
The Gonger, yeah, I've seen videos.
Yeah, he's actually been a guest in the tiny home, and he's actually got he what do you call it? Reserved the entire property in October for his ride thing. I'm not promoting it well, but trust me, he's going to have all his mountain bike, his thing he does I think it's his seventh annual year.
Man, there's so much with this. It's amazing what you're doing. Joe taught him his son, Steve's son, how to use a chainsaw. True story. I remember watching because it was funny because I didn't know. This is before I knew the Colorado Kid. I was still kind of new to all this. And I had seen some video that he did. And then all of a sudden I saw him at Everstoke. And you guys were messing with him. And it was a whole funny video. And I'm like, who is this Colorado Kid guy? Yeah. And I didn't know that you guys already knew him. It was just a funny how you connect the dots with this YouTube thing.
So Brian and Joe went to school together.
Yeah, they grew up together. So
they've been friends for quite a while. So I'm not sure why Joe never started his channel earlier, because he's natural talent for sure.
Yeah.
And I always knew, he would get frustrated because his channel was like, 2,000 subscribers when he was going out there. And he's like, man, I put all this work into the channel and it just doesn't grow and this and that. Then he started doing I told him, I said, man, you're going to I don't know why it's not growing, but you're going to find something and it's going to go. And I don't know if he remembers me telling him that, but he just, all of a sudden he started doing kind of funnier things on Instagram and everything. And now he's
blew it up,
blowing up like crazy. But me and him, and gosh dang it, Unprofessional Kyle, we're like, we cut down some trees together, and that's like the first trees we ever fell. It's probably the most dangerous thing I've done, because not knowing much, I watched a couple of YouTube videos. So what could go wrong?
That's all you need, YouTube.
Yeah.
You figure it all out. I don't know what we did before YouTube. Oh, Sister's God. In the house. Hi, Tara. She's saying hi. That you're talking about felling trees. Did you have any experience other than working like a little bit in your local bike park?
Growing up in Galt, which is country, my dad gave me a lot of all-around skills. Now, I never fell a tree, but I did work a chainsaw, cutting firewood and stuff. So we started out with a smaller tree, but I tell you what, it's really intimidating your first one, because you're looking at this really tall thing and just going, geez, if something snaps the wrong way, or you don't know what you're doing, people die. And it's not really a laughing matter, but people die.
Yeah, that stuff can kick back up at you. I've seen so many people cutting tree fails.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's terrifying.
Totally off the subject. Did you have to buy all new clothing for all this? Because you got that chainsaw pants now.
Yeah, and I should wear those a little bit more often, because one of my friends from high school is a paramedic, and he's actually had basically body recoveries where people nick their leg with a chainsaw.
Oh, I didn't mean to go there. That's horrible.
Well, just but I mean, that's how dangerous it is. It's like if you let that chainsaw come down and it hits your main artery in your leg, you're going to bleed out like fast.
What are those pants? Eric says, Eric Rod and Dirty's in the house. What's up, everyone? Thanks for jumping in, brother. But back to this. What are the pants? What are the pants made out of? You got like Kevlar in there or something? This
I'm
is
not
turning into a
sure.
whole different subject now. A whole
I'm
another topic.
not sure what actually it's made out of. It's just an extra protective layer, and I think there's like so you got kind of like almost like a leather layer with a inside. There's like strings. I have nicked my leg before, by the way, more down kind of by the kneecap, but I was wearing the chaps, and it looks like there's string slightly below that layer, and it kind of it stops that blade, because typically when I think what happens is people finish their cut and then they rest it, and that's what happened to me. I was pretty tired. I was using I think I milled, or I made a skinny. I cut the whole top of a log off, which is an insane amount of work, and it's just you got sawdust all over, and I just like the chainsaw had stopped, but I let go of the trigger, but the blade or the chain was still rotating, and I let it down just a split too soon. It just barely caught that chaps, and the chaps like stopped the chain immediately. So I was
There's got clips in my face. I've had this.
yeah.
Like, listen to this story. I mean, you could have almost lost a leg. Thank God for the chainsaw chaps.
Well, these mild accidents are a blessing in disguise, because they really make you pay attention, because that could have been all sorts of bad, right? So, and that actually happened before my friend came out and told me about the recovery, and I was like, oh man, I gotta really take that serious. So, I don't try to use the chainsaw when I'm tired anymore, and if I do a lot of chainsaw activity, I'm wearing those chaps.
I like that. Try not to chainsaw while sleepy.
Yeah.
Or I've had a couple.
Yeah. No beer. No more beer and chainsawing.
Oh, Mark Hill has made it into the podcast here in the chat room. What's going on, brother? Back to the trail building, and because the chainsaw, you've got that. What is they called? The Alaskan.
We started out. So there's two types of mills.
I want to do that. Yeah.
Or there's probably several types of saw mills. But the first one we started out with was a Alaskan mill, where you attach the chainsaw to it, and then you could rip logs. But that's still just, oh god, it's painstakingly slow, and it's always got to add chainsaw oil or bar oil, chainsaw fuel, sharpen the blades. It takes a long time to do one rip, versus the actual sawmill, which is it's a bandsaw.
Yeah. And
that cuts real, that's another thing, is your chainsaw is obviously like, I don't know, 1/4 inch thick, where the bandsaw is like 1/32 thick or 1/16 thick. Yeah, so when you rip a plank, you're not losing all sorts of wood, and it's so much quicker. It's just so fast.
Did you?
Yeah, Trail Cram says chainsaws are dangerous. I do not disagree.
I just such an undertaking. I know this is, you were like, this is my livelihood now.
Yes,
I've got to go out there. I've got to do it. But then when you started doing it, you were like, what did I get myself into? Did you ever have one of those moments?
Yeah, all the time. It's just a punch list of, it's like a 2-mile long punch list, and then it just grows. You knock out 10 items, you find 20 more things to do. So it just constantly adds more and more. So I love having volunteers out there. And a very common question I'm asked is, when is your build days? Well, I used to try to organize, like hit up people.
Yeah.
Now I'm just trying to get the word out. Like almost every weekend I'm out there from Thursday to Sunday. It's I'm going to be building at least one of those days. There's several. Yeah, it's just, it just takes too much time to send out all this messages and trying to organize something all for everybody to kind of say, well, I got family day or whatever else. And I occasionally get some people out there, but I'm trying to get more of a group that just kind of like randomly could go up there anytime, and I don't even need to be there, and they just know what needs to be done. Like breaking out trails or improving berms. There's a couple local guys that live up there. Gentleman Spencer, he's really cool. He'll rake out a trail and then he'll ride for an hour or something. So, and it's just kind of nice because he'll probably jump in there on Monday when I'm not there and just kind of check on the property, make sure no one's messing with stuff, and then puts in a touch of work and then has fun. Which is
What kind of security do you have out there? I mean, if it's just open land or
it's not the Fort Knox.
I don't think anyone in the comment section is going to go sneak out there, so I think we're safe. But
Brian has like tons of cameras around right now, and we do have tracking chips and like more valuable stuff. So if they run away with it, we'll find it.
Away your secrets, but yeah,
and we lock up some stuff. But I'm out there a lot. Brian's out there a lot. This might be a top secret thing. Hopefully, I'm not. He's working on things that will increase the security of the place as it goes. So that will catch his stuff on. Like he's working on a really big project right now, and it's very exciting to have this being developed. So watch his stuff. Hopefully that will come out soon.
How speaking about watching people's stuff, you're taking on this undertaking, you sell your company, you buy some land, you decide to start building trails and using Alaskan chain things, salt mills, and now you've got to record it all and edit it.
Yes. Yeah, that's
and is this why you take the 3 days to be home or the 4 days to be home?
One of the reasons. Yeah, it's like I was telling you earlier when we were just talking. I try to get a story developed while I'm doing this, which is not always successful for sure. But I gather all this footage, then it's drive back Sunday, get home late Sunday night. I start immediately putting that footage into my computer and kind of eliminate, stuff the boring stuff, get all that out, get the garbage out. And then it's about start kind of just piecing everything together slowly. So I work on it mostly Monday. My wife works on Monday, so I do that. And I, pay bills, try to get yard work done. Of course, now we're going to be building t-shirts and stuff. So I make maybe 15, 20 of these. So we'll take them out to the property. And then it's, hopefully by that end of Monday, I will have my Patreon cut done, put it on Patreon, and then hang out with my mom all Tuesday, help her with her stuff because, my dad's no longer around. So I have a brother that also helps out with that. Actually, I had 3 brothers. We also lost one of my brothers, but I still have 2 brothers that we all pitch in, try to help my mom. And so that's kind of my Tuesday task. We'll do chores in the morning, have lunch, then just hang out in the afternoon, whatever. And then Wednesday, if there's wifey time, try to do a little something, there. And also at some point, try to finalize my YouTube edit and put it out. So once the Patreon edit is done, the YouTube one isn't like that much more work. I'm just gonna
here's for Patreon, and then here's
I try to leave a little bit more meat and fun stuff for Patreon members, and obviously take out the commercials and have that come out a week prior to try to get something. It's not like the most exciting Patreon channel, but those that love to help, I'm very appreciative of it.
Look, this is your bread and butter. And it's also, we're all passionate about being creators, but damn, you're putting in some sweat equity.
This is by far the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life, and in the lowest amount of pay.
It's probably one of your proudest moments.
Yeah, and it's been the happiest time of when I'm out there digging and everything. It just I'm in the zone, and it's all about having fun. And kind of backtracking to that plan, the property's shaped kind of like a giant rectangle, and the front of the property's, it's a little wider than this, but the front of the property would be here, and it's, you go a long ways way back here, right? I actually probably can pull up my phone and have a better demonstration, but it's great. Look at me trying to do tech stuff.
We got Marty Octodad from New Zealand is in the house watching you.
Right on.
He's got trails. He's got a few acres of land in New Zealand. He's got some trails out there. We got all kinds of trail builders out here.
Yeah. And we want to get some more, like, hopefully he'll come out and, maybe do something.
Let's get
hang out, have some fun, and build some trails. But like Cut Laps, he's
I've seen his stuff. Yeah,
he's got a great channel doing stuff in Australia. And then of course Seth, not Burn Peak Seth, but
backyard trail builder.
I would like for him to come out and do a project. Eric from BCPOV is the one that built the Huckback well, a well tail.
You're so good, because this was going to be one of my next questions, is collabs that you've had with it. So you've had BKXC, or no, BKXC is your the other owner. BCPOV, all these B's. Who
BCPOV else? Anyway, before we get too far, this is kind of the shape. We'll see if it comes out or if the lighting's okay.
Get it real close.
Yeah, let's see if I get that light just.
Okay, yeah, but it's narrow. Yeah, there you go.
It's narrow, and that's all the trails. Oops, okay, I'm pointing at the screen.
But that's not all 91 acres.
Anyway, if you notice, there's a trail that goes all the way around the edge of the property.
Yeah.
That was kind of my first plan, is kind of figure out how to make every one of those is a trail. Every one of these. In fact, Ryan put together a really good video of pretty much trying to ride all the trail, and they're all on trail forks now. So, but the strategy plan A was kind of in my head. It was like, okay, we definitely got to have a perimeter trail that's got to go all the way around, right? And then I started developing like a downhill trail from every ridge, because we got ridge like just stacked every so far. So it's basically perimeter trail to downhill trail. And then I started thinking, well, it's like, God, that would be boring to ride the same trail up over and over and over. So then I was like, okay, I got to figure out a circuit. So go up some of the perimeter trail, have a downhill trail, have a climb trail, downhill trail. So I made this humongous circuit now, and you'll probably ride 10 to 12 miles before you could ride pretty much every trail out there. And you probably still won't get everything. It's getting that massive.
No,
good. Oh, I was just going to say, and the ultimate goal is like basically have about 20 miles of trail.
Now, your first one you said was the perimeter trail.
Yeah.
And then when you got that going, did you walk it and say, okay, let's do this, and then let's do this from here? I mean, was it all, it wasn't mapped out on a map? Was it more of just a visual, a build?
It was pretty much all visual, with a lot of hiking.
I mean, 91 acres of hiking.
Yeah. I think my record steps out there is close to 40,000 steps in one day. Wow. Just like hiking, building, and everything else. An average trail build day up there is between 18 to 20,000 steps. So those videos where you see me just working away. So imagine those days where I've actually put in that, like almost say over 30,000. That's a massive amount of steps.
Miles, it's man.
Really, and it's not like flat land. It's up and down, and
up, down,
spin around, and everything else.
Marty brings up a great question. How do you get a backyard trail or on trail forks if it's on private land? That's interesting. I guess you have to be Everstoke.
What's that?
You be Everstoke. That's
yeah.
How do you get a backyard trail on trail forks? like a private land?
Yeah, there's a special note you could leave on your trail forks. For us, there's a lot of questions about legal issues. California has a couple laws that will protect you. Like, say, if you have land and you build a trail on there, and you're not trying to monetize it in any shape or form, then if someone was to go on your property and ride that trail and get injured, there's actually 2 California laws that will protect you from that. The minute you charge a penny for any of their trail builds, then you have to have some sort of liability and waivers. So and we have a lawyer he actually represents even North Star, his law firm, and he mountain bikes, and he mountain biked out there. So he actually first, he just was very knowledgeable, said, these waivers, these are darn near bulletproof. And if they don't, like, say they poach the trail and they come out there, then you have to have trail postings, or not, I'm sorry, just signs saying, hey, there's no trespassing out here. If you are out here riding, you need to sign the waiver. If you're, so basically, whether they sign the waiver or not, we're protected. It's, the only time we start assuming liabilities, like if it's like direct negligence, say like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the tree fort bridge that we made. It's just a big wooden thing.
Okay.
If like one of those boards was to break and someone brought it to my attention, and I was like, you're fine. Yeah, suck it up. Whatever. And we just totally neglect trying to fix something like that, then that's where they may have a case. But for the most part, you just have, it's just right at your own risk. And this is, I'm no lawyer, but this is the advice I'm getting.
Yeah.
And it seems very, responsible. And it's different from state to state to state, of course. So
always wear a helmet.
This says to shoot trespassers. We do not. They just need to sign the waiver, or they'll see the trail signs.
I can't see you or Brian shooting anybody. You guys seem like very, very extremely nice, happy people.
We try.
You got enough back in. Well, oh God, I told you the train derails. I wanted to get to people who have collabed with you and have helped you build, like you were talking about. BC POV came out. Anyone else?
Robert from B1 Biker, Biker Channel. And he's been out a few times. Let's see, Angry Wolverine, Casey. He lives down, let's see, do you know, he goes by T-Rex on Instagram, and he is,
oh, okay. I think I'm going to say
Tommy whom? Maybe I'm messing his name up. Anyway, they have a South California ride group down there. Angry Wolverine's part of that group, and Casey is a good dude. He's been up and helped me build a trail. Brian Gong, the Gonger. Well, he's not really a YouTuber. He's more of a Instagram presence, YouTube presence. But anyway, well, going real quick before I go too far, Angry Wolverine is also a Marine, and he had the same 0331 as I did. And he actually gave me the idea. It's like, oh, you should name one of your trails 0331. So, and I'm starving for names on trails, so I named trails 0331. So there's a Colorado kid, Unprofessional Kyle. Van Girl Yuka, of course, was out there, but she didn't do any trail building with us, but she rode a lot of the property. And she made a video about it. Trying to think.
Great, I mean, just the fact that you two have, a strong YouTube following. People want to be a part of it. That's pretty neat. That it's not like you're just a couple of dudes that came up with the idea. You guys already had, a following in the YouTube realm, and people wanted to be a part of that. I mean, were you getting a lot of that in the beginning? Like, oh, we want content out there. We want to help you out.
That was a surprising thing. We didn't get very much. I thought we'd get a lot more. And, I was hoping that a lot of these other YouTube guys would just kind of want to build some content and maybe build their feature where they could put their name on it and stuff. When, it was fun when BCPOV was out there. Eric is really, in fact, he kind of got me started on, kind of getting me out of that, pushing me out of my comfort zone to start building wood features because I, was helping him. And then I was like, well, I could do that, just how hard can it be? It's like, and the other thing is like, you just can't be afraid. If you're going to mess something up, it's not that big of a deal. You could either use those planks for another feature. You just got to get your hands dirty and do it. Yeah. And so it was really good that Eric did come out when he did, because I saw him cut down a cedar tree and just, we ripped that sucker up and we moved all the planks down there. His video came out fantastic. He puts together some really good videos.
He's a talented kid.
Tommy Hoon, Reckless Riders, and Trail. Then Octodad's asking what's 0331. That's a machine gunner in the Marines. I was a machine gunner for 4 years.
Tommy Reckless. Okay.
Trail Pimp also asked if that was a Santa Cruz high tower long travel on the wall, and yes, it's a Santa Cruz high tower long travel, and that's a regular high tower.
Regular.
And, Capra, YT Capra.
Oh, okay.
All three of those bikes, and they all were destroyed instantly. My tailgate came open on my truck.
Oh,
just like that.
Son of a.
So, lesson learned. Fortunately, I had homeowners insurance, so I covered my bike, and I was able to get a replacement Santa Cruz Mega Tower. And let's see, I had enough money saved up for my YouTube because I never cashed out my money for YouTube stuff.
Really?
So I basically gave them, my two buddies, Charlie and gosh dang it. I'll remember his name. Good friends of mine. I
can't remember their names.
Yeah, that's just my pro brain.
Just seriously, you had your YouTube and you never cashed it out. You just always had it just sitting there. It was just something.
Yeah, and I unfortunately had a couple $1,000 saved up because I had it for so long, and I basically paid what they had paid for those bikes so they could replace theirs. That, and combined with my homeowner's insurance. And then Santa Cruz was really good because even though it wasn't, it was like my fault, or, wasn't fault of Santa Cruz, the bike, they will sell you another bike at cost. And if it was something like, if the bike collapsed they got the lifetime warranty if it is their fault. But, this was obviously out of their control. But yeah, they were really cool. He hooked me up with some parts and stuff. And,
cool.
And it was a very sad day.
You're like, no!
It was devastating.
Half.
And what's insane is that I never opened that tailgate. It's always been shut.
Always closed.
And it just came open. So just all you folks out there that have a tailgate, just kind of, maybe a little extra safety latch, because that was just the worst.
Now, looking at your property now, that you've got almost 6 miles of trails, you have a tiny home, you've got a grumper. Is that still there?
The grumper is there, yes.
The grumper is there. I remember talking. I had Brian on when I first started this, and I had to ask him about the grumper because that was early on when you guys were doing that. What's your favorite part of Everstoke and the build? Do you have a favorite part? Do you like the wooden features, or you like the rock rolls, or you like the berms, or the stuff that you really had to pat down?
I think I would have to, right now, I would say, I'll do this. My favorite trail, I think, and that came out really well, is Everflow. It's our flow trail. Mm-hmm. That came out really good. And the probably favorite feature is the drop zone. is it's 7 drops, and they all are 6 inches higher. Is how many times have you been out to like some place and they got 3 drops? You got one really easy one, kind of a mediocre one, and then to go from that mediocre one to the next level, it's just like, oh my God, it's just
it's my local trails. It's
yeah,
like
it's
one
overwhelming.
foot, 3 foot, or 6 foot.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is, like most places. So I called it the drop zone, and it starts at 1 foot, then it goes 1.5 feet, 2 foot, 3 foot, or 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. But the measurement isn't, in fact, Monday, a video will be coming out, and we actually found the actual drop height. Because I was measuring from the end to the very base,
Yeah.
is 4 feet, but you're obviously going down the hill. So anyway, that question is answered on Monday, and kind of a mystery.
I was gonna pull it up, and I like what you did with it. And it's hold on, I'm a big dumb animal here. Let me share, and it's right there. I'm pulling up Everstoke.bike, folks.
Yes.
Everstoke.bike.
That's
And
the drop zone.
and it goes right into a wooden. I love that. And I like the fact that all your wood is free.
Yes, and that's the big, huge thanks to Dan. Like I said, he's just.
Look at this, folks. This is high class stuff. And that berm bridge thing, you built that. That's you, man.
Yeah, well, yes, with the help of a few volunteers. There was a guest out there, and then Dan helped me out a lot. And
still, my
it flows so good.
This on.
And on my Instagram, I actually just finished another little wood bridge. You can't see it in that video, but it helps take out the pain. Like it's effortless to get back up to the top of the drops now. So you can just repeat.
Oh, let me stop screen. This is killing me. Something's wrong with my computer lately. If I share something, I'm like lagging right now.
So the Octodad is talking about lock the tailgate. Not all tailgates lock, but I did add later a chain mechanism and a pin. I since sold that truck, but it basically I had a latch system, so I bulletproofed that thing.
Okay, what kind of wood is that on these? Do you treat the wood?
Yes and yes. It's even though it's mostly redwood, and I even though it's redwood, I still kind of hit at least the edges and some of the where I haven't treated everything yet, but I take this wood preservative and kind of get around anything that's close to the dirt, or say where a piece of wood matches up to another piece of wood, places where bugs might hide. And we do have some cedar out there, of course. And almost all this wood is brought in from Dan, both cedar and redwood. We used a little bit of cedar on our property when we find dead cedar trees, and occasionally we use the pine. But pine does not have that high resistance to bugs and wood rot.
Right. So. Do you ever just sit back and do like this and look at what you've created?
Oh yeah, all the time. It's insane. Like going back, I give a lot of tours to guests. They just like, hey, I'll show you around, kind of what I like to do, kind of connect everything. Even though it's all on trail forks, it's kind of nice to have a little bit of a guide. So if I have the time, and it just amazes me every time I do that, like, holy crap, there's a lot of trail out here, a lot to show people. And none of the trails are really long. I think Everflow is the longest one and ends up being 0.7 miles.
Wow.
Little piece
He needs
candy.
a mint, folks. He needs a mint. Hold on.
Yeah, my throat's getting dry here. So. Yeah, the water doesn't always cut it. I usually drink beer. But yeah, we do have a lot of cedar wood we get for free as well.
But you walk around it and just go, damn, man, look what I did.
Yes, all the time. And it just, especially the Venture Perimeter Trail now, holy crap, that thing almost killed me. I almost cut off the end of my thumb.
Yummy.
So
yeah,
that
just
was,
put that right up there so everyone gets sick.
it just discolored my thumb.
Okay,
I had a big old gash in it. That already healed up, and my thumbnail was barely hanging on. It was just the hedger. That hedger could cut about a thumb size branch pretty easy.
Yeah.
The stupid safety latch was stuck. Like it was a real cold morning, and I didn't realize that was stuck. And I don't know. I was just like trying to get a jump on the day, and I'm still, how dumb you are when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
That was me. And I'm putting that hedger on the back of that Rokon motorcycle, and that sucker went off. I don't know. I swear I didn't touch the trigger, and I noticed that later that this stupid safety mechanism. So it's two triggers you have to pull, and another moron move I had my thumb stuck inside it, and it just whack, and it's stuck, and I had my glove on, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
But I didn't feel anything. It just went numb. And I kind of looked at it and go, that didn't even cut me. And then I started kind of just going about my business. And I kind of like, moron, take your glove off. As soon as I did,
take a look at it.
Blood everywhere. And I was just going,
oh my gosh.
And just, I could see like meat right there. And it's just,
that's so.
I was so PO'd at myself. And I was like, I'm not stopping. I put some antibiotic on it and kind of wiped it down a little bit and just made sure it's clean, put some Band-Aids around it. And I just kept building it, but it sucked because I had to like figure out I was doing a lot of pick stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying not to use my thumb. I had a weird grip going on. And
I just love the fact that I'm like, do you ever sit back and look at your stuff and you're like, you're proud. And then you almost lose your thumb. You took me to almost losing your thumb.
Yeah.
Because it happened. I got you beat though. I lost the tip of my finger.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yeah, we got Zach Timber Warrior goes, what's up? Sorry I'm late. He was making bagels. Sorry, Aaron. He was
bagels.
Bagels were more important than Everstoke.
Yeah, he can't stop making bagels.
He was just on Biker B1, Robert.
Yeah, I think
just on tonight. This kid, look at him. He's podcasting it tonight. This is great. So what is planned more for? Are you done? Are you done building? Are you like 6 miles? That's enough.
No.
Did my job.
For now, I am not going to cut any more trail land for a little while. Eventually, though, we want to have roughly 20. Yeah, shoot for about 20. I don't know if we'll have the space for 20, but it is. There's so much trail out there right now. It's like, let's take a pause. Let's go back through all these trails and let's really make them really pop. They're fun, but they're not like epic. They're. I don't want to downplay them, but I don't want to upplay them either. But like I said, I want them so addicting when you come out there and you ride it and you get to the bottom. I want that that factor where you turn around and go, I have to ride that again.
I want that one again.
That's what I'm shooting for. Everflow is really close to getting that. I mean, everybody that's been out there, I get positive feedback on Everflow. It runs so good. To make a really, really good flow trail, you basically don't want to have to brake. That's a truck. I'm in the garage. You don't want to have to pedal, and you don't want to have to hit your brakes too much. Maybe a little bit of feather in your brakes, but to get a really, really, really good flow trail, that's what you're shooting for. So there's a few spots you're getting kind of going, and you kind of you're hitting the brakes a little bit more, and I like. So I'm going to try to maybe tweak some stuff and we'll see if we can't get it even better over time. But
Yeah.
I also want to have. This is where, man, it's overwhelming. I want to have hundreds of features, right? Of wood features, and typically a wood feature could take a weekend to build. Being 52 weekends in a year, and wanting to do hundreds of features, you can't obviously get everything done in a year, especially when you're losing weeks to the winter and family, whatever else that life throws at you.
Yeah, life gets in the way.
Yeah, so it's a challenge. So my hope is that we can do some more collabs with a lot of these other YouTube channels, or these fine gentlemen and ladies that even have channels. If they want to come out and build a feature, they're welcome. Just come on out and just get with me. We'll pick a spot and
prove it.
Go for it. I will try to assist them in any way I can, whether they need planks, hardware, tools, whatever it is. I'll make it happen. That's my job. Is like whatever needs to be done. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, but I'll do what I can to help you out.
Now, here's a question. You've ridden it, and you obviously ride it and go, I need to tweak this, I need to do that, yada, yada, yada. You own this with Brian as well. Has he ridden it, and is he loving it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think he just did a video basically riding every trail and mapping them out to get them on trail forks.
Oh, I got to watch that.
Yeah, it's great. And that's when he busted out the e-bike. He's a much better rider on his analog bike than he is on his e-bike. But
really,
oh yeah, I think he's getting to be pretty damn good. He's not a jumper like me, but like going down chunky tech stuff. Just
he's ridden a lot.
Yeah, yes. Well, we did that trail in Moab together, the portal, and at the end of portal, it's just, he got a lot of views on that. A lot. I think it's close to 9 million views.
That's not the, is that the one? No, that's not the one.
It's labeled King
the most dangerous.
Portal is one of, it's definitely, I don't know if it's the most dangerous trail. It's definitely has a potential. Yeah. Okay. There's a half a mile of really extreme exposure, and a couple spots where it says dismount your bike and walk. Mountain bikers have died just like you right here.
Yeah. I've seen a few of those videos lately.
I take the warning seriously. I walk that section.
I don't know which trail dog is this. Is Isaiah? How do you have? He has a well, so the hose gets pumped everywhere. You can water stuff down. You can. I know you have trails miles out there though.
Yeah. So
gallon jugs with that crazy looking motorcycle thing that I want to buy.
We do have some large water jugs if we do really want to wet down a trail. But typically I don't like to try to do anything extra if Mother Nature says it's going to come along and rain eventually. So a lot of time I'll just cut it in. We even got like these Ghostbuster looking backpacks that have pump sprayers on them.
At the super pump spray.
Yeah, almost like a shotgun action. And I have used those to kind of help pack a really dry berm, but just watering a trail is just not practical. It takes way too much work, but we do have the well, of course, for drinking water, and if we do want to pack some stuff. But.
Okay, here's the meat right here, and hopefully my computer won't slow down again. I'm going on, folks. If you're listening anywhere else other than YouTube, we're going to everstoke.bike.com. You got a waiver. Here's your trail forks. If you want to go on there, folks, you can go on to everstoke.bike, and you can see the property right here. There it is. Look, hold on. I don't see it. I don't see what you guys are seeing. Oh, because it takes me into another tab. Son of a. I'll get used to this podcasting one day. See, look, I'm slowed down.
You're doing a lot better than I could do. So
Look, it slows my computer down. Let me get rid of this because it slows me down and I look like an idiot.
you look fine.
I'm trying to keep up. Yeah.
Oh, I see what's going on.
I'm moving weird. Okay. Nevertheless, talk to me about how people can get to Everstoke to rent a tiny home or camp. I mean, what are the rules and regulations, and how do we get there, and how do we enjoy what you have created?
Well, day riding is, so what's to get there? It's not far from Mills Peak. That's I guess, a pretty well-known trail. It's just right in a small town called Blairsden off of Highway 70. It's probably an hour away from Reno and an hour away from Truckee. So let's say you drive out there. It's right off the highway pretty much, but it feels like you're deep once you get in there.
Yeah.
And if you want to just ride the trails, just be sure to sign the waiver and go ahead and ride. And then we do ask for donations. We're trying to make it sustainable, trying to keep me out there. It
can't just be all
I'll run out of funds probably October, November-ish if I don't get a ton of business going this season. And then I'll probably, go back to work for a while. And then I'll just, Everstoke won't stop. I just won't be out there building as much.
Folks,
so let's try to make it sustainable. So campsites are $50 for the first 2 nights, $30 every night after that. The tiny home is $175 a night with a $75 cleaning fee. But if you are planning on staying, say, like 4 nights, I'll probably give you like a little discount on it as well. All that is done through my my email at MTBing@gmail.com. So all my Instagram, all that stuff is MTBing adventures at gmail.com or MTBing adventures at Instagram.
Can you book it through the Everstoke?
I do have like a sticker or something here somewhere. And then
he's left us. He's done with us. No,
I left the building. So this is let's see here. That's kind of the
adventures. Yeah, MTBing adventures. There you go. But can you book it through Everstoke.bike?
No, that will probably give you a link. Eventually, you will be able to.
Okay.
One of our plans hopefully throughout this busy season is Brian's kind of more of the tech guy. He's the one that put the website together.
Okay.
And, eventually, there'll be a calendar on there so you can see what days are available, and then you'll just be able to book it right on there. So, but right now everything's pretty much going through me because, otherwise you have to use Logify. Logify costs money, and we do have Wi-Fi out there right now. We got Starlink, and but we also have great cell phone coverage. So, like we've done a couple live streams just right off of our cell phones or our computer.
Oh wow,
it's really good.
How many can stay in this tiny home? Marty wants to know.
There's 2 queen size beds and 2 like single beds, and then the couch. So if you have, probably like 4 guys comfortably.
Yeah.
2, 4. If it's like 2, like say 3 husbands and wives, like 3 couples and something like that. The largest family we had in there so far was East Bay Rich. Was him and his wife. Him. His 2 daughters, and they had a blast. It's about 424 square feet.
Oh, okay. What's the hardest part you've run into building the trail? We got trail builders right here.
God, it's really, I think the hardest part is just getting the brush out of the way, just hammering. We got that. It's like we got manzanita and sage, but there's another brush out there. I can't stand that plant because it knots together. So like you hack out a couple of the pieces, then you start trying to pull it out, like all the other, they intertwine. So you can't, you spend 5 minutes hacking out or trying to pull the other pieces out.
One and it's entwined in another.
Yeah. And it's just the amount of physical effort it takes just to hack out all the roots. It's really stupid, honestly. Part of me wish I had kind of a mini X on some of that, but then you kind of lose the natural. Don't get me wrong, I love mini X built trails, flow trails, and jump lines and everything, but I'm kind of more of a naturalist on the trails. I'm always looking for just natural features, natural windy.
Like your rock rolls are a lot of they were there.
Yeah, they're right there. I just threw in a couple more boulders at the bottom, so there you go. That's it.
What is there? There's camping there as well. Is that a cause?
And yeah, so we got 7 campsites right now.
Okay.
And we ultimately want to have 10. However, one of the sites might convert to an additional tiny home versus campsite. If we get, if this thing gets going. So that's the way. It's basically just get with me on email and I'll kind of tell you what days we have available. Just kind of give me a general idea, like what month you're coming out. Tiny home is kind of booking up pretty well this year.
Nice.
So I think we got 12 bookings. So if you want to come out and stay in the tiny home, you might want to reserve that now.
Sweet.
Before it gets really booked up. And we have a race, the Everstoke Enduro. It's held by California Bear Adventures. And last year we had 46 people, and this year we're shooting for 200. So
wow. So that's helping you guys out as well, as not just donations, but and soon Everstoke shirts, but tiny homes. I'm telling you guys got something going on here. You got something. Yeah, so you should pat yourself on the back, sir.
Thanks. I'm going to show you one of the old shirts. This is what happened through Teesprings.
Yeah, I've seen those.
They fade.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, why can't I make these shirts? And at least if I can make better quality in them, and we hope to sell the shirts for like $25.
That's a decent price.
This is the one, my first one I made. Looks decent. It was a little bit crooked because of the learning curve, so I'm going to use this one for myself. But then I got better. Of course, I'm wearing this one, and this one came out really good. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. I like the color. It's just solid. I like solid. Oh, he's just showing the merch now. Oh, that's
the gray ones with the orange, which is really cool.
Come on, get those things on a website, man.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Like I said, it's that mile-long punch list where it doesn't want to go anywhere. So, but for right now, those will be at Everstoke. So if you guys come out there, I'll have some shirts for you at Everstoke. And eventually, and you know what? If people here watching the live stream, if you want a shirt real bad, shoot me an email. I'll make it happen.
Make it happen, man. Everstoke. This is your livelihood. We got to help you out, man.
Might be a couple extra bucks for me to ship it out to you guys, but if you're willing to pay, I don't know, $28 for the whole.
Beautiful. I'm on it. What I've taken up a lot of your time.
No, I'm having a great time. I love to hang out.
I love the trail dogs. I don't know if this is Isaiah. Hedge trimmers. Yeah, we talked that. He almost lost his thumb.
Yeah. You must respect the hedger.
Need to get some shopping containers, I guess shipping containers out there for tiny homes. That's too much work. Just get a tiny home. It's already made for you. You don't need any more.
Exactly. It's
you're like, I'm building the trails.
Yeah. And everybody in the world that comes out there, they have an idea. Okay. Have you thought about, like, believe me, I don't sleep much. I literally lay in my bed thinking about every little corner, every little pump, every rock, tree, every little creek bed. geol, drainage, everything is constantly and just going over and over in my head. Where to put the campsites, where to put the tables, where to, we got to get, love to have like a little propane for ambience, fire pits in every campsite. It's just never ending.
But it's your baby.
It is. Oh yeah, and I don't want to come off like I'm complaining.
No, I know. But
it's
okay, so I was going to say, to back it up, you had a HVAC company, heating and air conditioning company, sold that. Now you have Everstoke company.
Yes.
Looking
it's an LLC.
I mean, literally, like, do you sit back and go, HVAC helped me afford this, and now this is it. Like, I mean, I can hear it. Your laundry list is a mile long of stuff you got to do, your punch out list or whatever you want to call it. But this is, I don't have any kids, and I'm proud of you. I got to be proud of somebody. Like,
I appreciate that. Yeah, and I actually love the never ending punch list. Like I said, really my only concern is if I go back to work, I'm not afraid to work. I like working. It's just I don't want to get pulled away from Everstoke because I want to devote all my time and energy to making this incredible place. So, and honestly, I don't plan on retiring. I used to think about retirement when I was younger, but I got it all wrong. I learned that it's like you got to have purpose in life. I've seen people retire and they just kind of dwindle away, or they go back to work doing something they like to do. I knew a lawyer guy. He retired, and he's like, after a couple of years, he kind of got into some other stuff, and he's like, you can only play so much golf, and then you start feeling kind of useless, So I thought to myself, I don't want to retire. I want my job to be so fun and rewarding that I will do it till the day I die. So, and this is it. Like, this is it. This job is literally, and there's that damn word again, but this job is it. And I'll do it all the way till the day I die.
You got deep, man.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, I
love that. Exactly. People search their whole life to do what you're doing and to be able to take that leap to do it. I mean, I would love to go ahead and just say, honey, I'm done today. I'm putting my 2 weeks in. I want to go podcast in full on. Yeah. Let's do this. But I know oh man, you got something in me now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
too short.
Purpose in life, you got to have something that's worth living for, having fun. And this is it. I mean, but of course, 10, 15 years down the road, I probably won't be working as long as days, the same amount of time I'm putting in there. It's pretty grueling on the back and stuff. So, but now it's kind of shifting. I got enough trail cut in where I probably, now it's like, let's build some features. Let's dig in the dirt for a couple hours and I don't have to kill myself. And then I'll build a wood feature. And you'll see in my newer videos, the latest ones, I'm pivoting a lot. I'll work on a berm, then I'll go work on some that add to the deck on the tiny home. And then let's improve a campsite. So now it's like multiple tasks. Oof. But by shifting from job to job, you're not getting burnt out on one particular job. Because even when I'm digging, if I pick, it's hard to see it because it's always in time lapse. I switch hand, I'm good using a shovel both left and right because I'm trying to make my body balance.
One giant arm and then this one skinny arm.
Yeah. Well, in your back will start getting tweaked if you don't, your one muscle will start overpowering the other muscle. And I guess that's a way you could start getting more back pains and stuff. So I do my best to stretch and work all muscle groups and not to overdo it. That's key.
I like how you say you want to keep doing this for another 15 years. They're gonna be like, there's 34 miles of trails on this plot of land, and you're running into people left and right, and just someone tell him to retire.
It's yeah, I don't know. I like the physical challenge. I'm not a paperwork guy. I hate as soon as I'm doing any paperwork, I hate life.
You shush your mouth.
I'll work a shovel all day long. I'll smile.
There's something to be said about that. There's, again, putting that sweat equity in there, and it's,
and then when you get back,
look, to sit back and to look at it.
Yeah. And I also try to take a little time to smell the roses when I'll be working up there, and I'll take a little break, and then you got these just gorgeous views.
And wildlife. Man, is it safe to stay up there?
What's that?
Is it safe to stay up there with all that wildlife? I've seen the cameras.
Yeah, I think the scariest video was when Brian caught those 3 mountain lions, and I'm not afraid of the bears. They're just they're like little puppy dogs. You probably scratch your little belly. But
the last words he ever said.
Yeah.
Like a puppy. I'm gonna go scratch his belly.
That's probably all I die is like, here, kitty, kitty, and I'll be a mountain lion. Cute little kitty.
Man.
Yeah. Mountain lion attacks are really rare. It happened just recently, though, here in California, Georgetown. A young boy, 20, I think he's 21, got killed by a mountain lion.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it happens, but I guess it was 20 years prior to that there was a mountain lion attack. And I think, so if you got a lot of deer running around, which we do, I think you're pretty safe. I think a mountain lion, they have to see you as a non-threatening prey, because they have a survival instinct. If they get jacked up any shape or form, it's game over. They're not going to the ER to get fixed up. If they're very big, they're done. So I think they have a natural instinct to not bite off more than they can chew. So if you look like a big threat to them, and also there's a huge food supply out there, you're probably pretty safe. But there was times I was really terrified. I was packing my gun around when I first was out there. Yeah, I had a 9mm with me, but the thing is, with the mountain lion, you probably won't even see it coming. They're sneaky. So
I guess I'm staying in the tiny home and not in the tent at Everstoke.
I know Joe from the Colorado Kid. He was sleeping in the tent, and we did have a mountain. So before I put all that road base on the road, it was like moon dust from me driving the tractor. Like I was scraping it and making it all level. So it had this like thick powder, like half an inch thick. So you could see any footprint that was going in there. And I kid you not, this mountain lion walked right by his tent, did a little loop right under my camper, and went up one of the trails.
So you can see the paw prints in that moon.
Yeah, you can see the paw prints. And some people, that's dog. No. That was, we confirmed it. It was on a video and one of Brian's game cameras. That was mountain lion. It was a pretty good sized one. Joe bought a gun after that. He saw that when I go to stay at Everstoke. I'm keeping a gun in my tent.
Oh man. Yeah, no. I'm gonna have to stay in the tiny home.
Yeah, ride with the meat
claws are coming through the tent. Oh, dude, I can't thank you enough. This has been so much fun learning about Everstoke. I know people who are listening to this already know about it. It's rideable, folks.
It is.
You can go there. Just sign the waiver. It's open. If you want to help him.
Rideable now.
Rideable now. Donate.
Like hero dirt. So
here now. And if you'd like to support the cause by getting a shirt, email would be MTBing adventures@gmail.com. Am I wrong?
Correct.
Cool. Let's support these kids, man. They're creating something for everyone to enjoy. And obviously there's two that really enjoy it.
Everybody that's been out has just
tell me about the feedback.
It's been excellent. I don't think it's on Google now. There's like a little pin that shows Everstoke on there, and you could go in there and review it, or check out the feedback. I don't think anyone has had a negative comment.
Good. They're riding. That's what's great about this. No, I don't think someone's going to ride something and go, well, that was trash.
Yeah. It's
fun. You rode a bike.
And keep in mind that like the I don't know, the kind of get the visual of what the Everstoke's about.
Yeah.
The Everstoke itself isn't like, because the trails are kind of short, so it's really hard to compete against, your 12-mile downhill trails and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what Everstoke is really good about is we got some really great local trails. You got Downeyville, that's not very far, Mills Peak, Mount Huff, they're building Beckworth Peak. The Sierra Buttes Trail Stewardship's got several more miles of great trail they want to build in that area, and that all surrounds Everstoke. So go out, ride these incredible trails, come back to Everstoke when you're done, and then say you're jonesing for a little bit more riding, it's there. Or you could make a half a day. Say you get there like late on a Friday or like Friday afternoon, ride Everstoke, get warmed up, then next day go hit Mount Huff, go hit Downeyville, whatever it is. I've had people hit Mount Huff and Mills Peak one day, got the shuttle service. They came back, still had a little bit of time, rode a few more trails, rode over to the brewery, had some beer, came back, hung around at the campfire, and it's just like, they're just speechless. They're just like, it's just the most amazing day you could ask for. How many places?
Riding so much near you, and you're near a brewery.
Yeah, the brewery is beautiful. It's it's insane. I can't believe how everything just kind of came together. It's got to be destiny, right? It's got to be.
Yeah. So pitching yourself.
Oh man, it's just
good for you.
You just, if you come across something in your life and you feel like you got to go for it. I mean, I would have been kicking myself in my behind if I would have passed up this opportunity all the way till the day I die. I just, if it fails, I went all in.
It's not going to fail.
Do everything I can to make sure this place is.
That's awesome. Again, I'm so proud of you. I don't have kids, so I'm choosing you to be proud of today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So I don't want to take up any more of your time, but I do this thing now. I do 10 rapid fire questions.
Oh yeah.
To end it up. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Do you have a dog?
I have no animals. Dang, that's tough. I like cats too, damn it.
Okay, yeah, I like both. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Last meal before you are executed.
I'm just gonna go with a big classic super combo pizza. It's like one of my favorite meals.
Well, whose pizza?
Just a classic, or just the combination pizza. Nothing too fancy. Just
okay.
Gouge myself.
Go. Might as well enjoy. Favorite TV show of all time?
Rick and Morty.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen one episode of that.
I love it. It's animated.
You're like, it's animated.
I can watch it. I can watch the reruns over and over and over. It cracks me up.
I'm gonna have to watch one now. Now that I knew,
it's not. Well, you have kids, so it's not for kids, but it's great.
Oh, it really isn't. It's an adult cartoon.
Oh yeah, it drops F-bombs and it's.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Oh, I learned something today. Favorite childhood toy?
Probably my Star Wars toys, I guess. Let's see.
Yes. I was just telling my wife when we wrote that question, Star Wars toys.
Yeah. Oh man, I loved Star Wars when I was a kid. And a particular one, I think that got me into. It's kind of weird. It's the Darth Vader collector case that kind of got me into Star Wars, and it was just like it had a where you could put the action figures inside the Darth Vader head. That was kind of the thing that got me into Star Wars.
I don't think I had that.
Then I was all into sci-fi stuff, for a while.
I had well, see, we're about to say I'm 52. I had the large Boba Fett that you looked in the back of his head and you could see through his eye. I don't know why you needed to do that.
No, I don't know, but I think some of those rare toys like that are worth like a lot of money if you still have it.
Thanks, Mom and Dad, for throwing them out.
Oh no, that's bad news. Happened to me.
Oh God, all my toys. I could retire right now. Do you believe in ghosts?
I'm gonna. I'd say no.
Okay.
I don't know. I had a few things in my life where it like make me question my doubt in my. I had a positive attitude where there are no ghosts, but then there's one job I worked at this old house that kind of made me question that. But I'll still say no. Okay.
Don't believe. After ride or trail building drink, what's your favorite?
I think I just love that IPA, the hazy IPA. That's kind of my go-to drink. Love that.
Like a nice cold IPA.
Yeah.
It's too hoppy for me.
The hazy one, it just, no side effects. I became immune.
No side effect. I'm a PBR man after a ride. I have one PBR after a ride.
Nice.
Like I'm not a beer guy.
Question is, there's a lot of good beer out there, but
there's too many beers. That's the problem.
Actually, I think the problem is there's just not enough time. Plenty of
I've been corrected. If you had to change your first name, what would you change it to?
Gosh dang, that's a good one. Man. I don't know, something Studley, I guess.
Studley.
I don't know, Dirk Diggler or something.
Mine was always Carl.
That's the name you would change to?
Yeah, I even had a belt buckle in college that said Carl on it. I love the name because it never leaves your mouth. It just stays right here. Carl. Go and say it.
Biff. I like Biff.
Biff. Good old Biff and his trails. Carl.
Okay. Back to the future. And I could call people butthead. Come here, butthead.
Come here, butthead. Hidden talent. Do you have any hidden talents?
Not really. I play guitar a little bit. I mean,
there you go.
I'm not good. Unfortunately, I don't have timing though. Like I could kind of move my fingers around, but I'm not like I'm not talented where I could play along with like a band or something.
Okay, but you can sit out by the campfire.
I know a lot of Metallica riffs.
I love this. The way to my heart is blank. That was my wife's one.
Gosh, that's tough.
Hazy IPA.
Huh?
Hazy
IPA. I guess it would mostly be food. I mean, I love when my wife cooks food. She takes care of me too. If it wasn't for her, I'd never eat healthy. I am a gas food, fast food, junk food junkie.
But you burn it off all day.
Yeah, I definitely try to burn it off. I get a little bit of a gut going, but then my wife brings me back to balance, cooks me a nice, healthy meal. She's a phenomenal. She's into fitness a lot. She does a lot of gym and cooks really healthy stuff.
Healthy stuff. Okay, so way to your heart is your wife's cooking.
Yeah.
Good thing you guys are married. If you had to host a TED Talk, what would the topic be?
I like to talk a lot about the future of space travel. So
wow, that took a turn.
Huh?
I thought it was going one direction of like trail building.
Yeah.
And then
I have definitely. So I'm kind of Well, I'll just say it. I am a fanboy of Tesla or Elon Musk, I guess, because I'm a futurist. I love looking to the future, and I didn't get a Tesla because of environmental reasons or anything like that. I just like the cool tech, and how once I got in one, I tested it out, I was like pretty shocked. But I'm more fascinated with the Starship, the stainless steel rocket that's going to be reusable, launching up in this 100% reusable, and so I kind of geek out into that.
Okay, my wife actually went to space camp when she was a kid.
Oh, that's awesome.
She wanted to be an astronaut.
Yeah, one time when I was young, I kind of wanted to be. That was going kind of back to the Star Wars thing. With the sci-fi and looking into the future, because I think it'd be great. I mean, it's just like so much out there, so much resources, so many planets. It's infinite. It's just like
it's too much to comprehend. I watched that. What's that Neil deGrasse guy? Neil Tyson deGrasse. Yeah. I love watching his stuff. It's just everything he drops. He'll say something. You're like there's so much we don't know.
Oh God!
He talks about how there's probably another you.
Yeah. Go back to Rick and Morty is actually a cartoon that basically dives into all these. I mean, it's all about jumping from parallel dimensions. There's infinite views, infinite me's, and it's insane. And it's just like, it's fantastic. Rick is the grandpa, and there's so many Ricks, and all the Ricks and Rick is the smartest man in the universe. So he built a portal gun that could go from parallel universe to parallel universe, and they built a citadel of Ricks. So imagine you and a bunch of other yous getting together and building something. Like if I had a bunch of me's, we could build a citadel of Aarons on all these mountain bike trails or some crazy stuff. So it really dives in. It is a comedic way to dive into all these weird,
I am so lost, but I've got to start watching Rick and Morty.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah, my wife even said there's so many Rick and Morty references out there. We're gonna have to start watching it, honey.
Yeah, just be prepared. It's like I said, it's
not a kid's show, which is fun.
It's very adult.
It's a little out there. Aaron, dude, I can't thank you enough. This was so much fun. I hope to goodness gracious. Did I just use that term? I think goodness I did. To get out there. I think my wife would love to stay and because you can hike the land too, I'm sure.
What's that?
You can hike the land as well. And say if my wife doesn't ride, we stay in the tiny home, we can hike.
Yeah. Absolutely. Go out there and hike. And in fact, I've had a couple one-wheelers out there. Just anything that won't tear up the trail and maybe help pack it in.
Beautiful. I hope to get out there. I hope to meet you and get out there. And I wish you guys nothing but great success with this. Ray Marcella dropping in late, but you're gonna have to watch the re-air. Mark, I want to thank everybody who's in this comment section, who's been watching. I want to thank you all who watched afterward and listened to afterward. Aaron, amazing. I appreciate you so much for coming on my little podcast here, man.
Thanks for reaching out to me and having me on. I have a great time. I love doing these things. They're a lot of fun. So much
fun. Tell Brian I said hi. Folks, if you want to go to everstoke.bike. There's there, or you can reach him through MTBing Adventures through his Instagram or Gmail, and book your trip. Get out to Everstoke and help him out.
Yep, absolutely. Come on out. And also September 15th, we have an enduro race out there. So if you're interested in that, that's, like I said, going to be booked through California Bear Adventures. And Nathan hosts a lot of races in the Northern California area. We're shooting for 200 people. That's a great way to help support Everstoke. It's a fun time. We're going to go to the brewing lair afterwards. Hopefully, Colorado Kid was our announcer guy for the winners and stuff. last year. So hopefully he'll be able to do it again this year. I'm not sure. He's been pretty busy, but he is fantastic for that stuff.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have a couple of these shirts for giveaway for the prizes.
Nice.
And we'll just kind of keep building on this race and other events out there. We got some really cool stuff. Brian's trying to reach out to potential demo days at Everstoke. So kind of keep your eyes open for that.
Oh, wow.
What else we got? Like I said, every weekend is basically a build weekend if I'm out there. You know, I don't know. It's just there's so much going on. It's the all-around adventure package. You could ride, you could build, you could cut down a tree, you could go drink a beer, you could go down to a river not too far. There's amazing trails not too far from our property. It's just, I mean, there's even golf, tons of golf. So you could ride some trails and go hit some golf balls or something not too far from us. So.
This
Or frisbee golf.
A wonderland.
Yeah, it's like
I'll do some frisbee golf.
And I might even set up a horseshoe pit. Who knows? It's all going to keep getting better.
The Everstoke is your oyster, buddy, and you got hot sauce. I love it. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate this. Guys, in the comment section, you know Johnny loves you. There's the peanut gallery there. If you're new and you're watching, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and go hit his stuff. Like and subscribe, donate, blah 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 blah. All the description stuff is down there. Thank you all very much. This has been so much. Aaron, you're incredible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all that watched, left comments. Really appreciate it. Hope to see you guys.
If you can, go get your bikes dirty.